molded in the sightless abyss, the paragon of his art, the children of his cunning. 5,000 years they slumbered in oblivion, abandoned but not forgotten. At last he would awaken them. At last the grand designs of his arcane works would reach fruition.
Do you have games that you just keep going back to over and over again, even though you've already completed it multiple times and there's no further progression available on that title? I have a few VR games like that, where I just enjoy being in that world. One of those games is Karnage Chronicles. I have played it with friends, beat it on both classes, on multiple difficulties, and I have always been shocked at how underappreciated this game is, and I think it was just way ahead of its time. So now I'm going to try and spread a little awareness about this game so that people who would otherwise not even know that Karnage Chronicles exists can get the opportunity to check it out. In Karnage Chronicles, you are a merc wraith, and you embark on a journey through 3 dungeon crawling levels using bows, crossbows, daggers, swords, and shields to battle goblins, dwarves, spiders, harpies, exploding mushroom creatures, and more, while finding increasingly powerful armor and weapons as you go. You will have to choose between 2 classes, which are Warrior and Archer. I have played both, but I definitely prefer the Archer. The Warrior can equip shields, swords, and a crossbow, while the Archer can equip longbows, daggers, and about mid-game, enemies can drop a shield that archers can use instead of a second dagger. Both classes have 3 hot swap weapon loadout settings, so I typically have my longbow in loadout 1, 2 daggers or a dagger and a shield in loadout 2, and my mining pick in loadout 3. What sets Karnage Chronicles apart from other games is the sheer beauty of the environments. This game launched on Steam VR in early access way back in 2017. To put that into perspective, I read an interview with the developer about this game and they said Karnage Chronicles can run at a smooth 90 frames per second on a 970 Nvidia card, which kind of blows my mind to think about it when you look at how premium this game is visually. I mean, Half-Life Alyx didn't come out until 3 years after this game's early access release. And yet this dungeon is beautiful, filled with brightly colored glowing assets. There is a gorgeous ocean surrounding the map that you will get to see from time to time. The few NPCs you come across are well designed, and the 2 that actually talk, beyond a word or 2, are well voiced.
Aye, course. Murder rabbits, armed with swords and spears and magic and stuff. Never fought the like.
Enemies are all very well polished and look and feel alive with acceptable AI. The sound effects are adequately convincing, and overall it's just a fun world to explore. Honestly, the only reason why I feel like this game isn't talked about regularly is because it came out too long before VR took off. The combat mechanics in Karnage Chronicles are kind of tricky at first. Archery requires you to become accustomed to and really strategize the arc of your arrow's flight path. But when mastered, you can use that to hit targets that would otherwise be out of reach, even to the point of hitting targets that are obscured by low walls. The enemies are pretty proficient with their weapons. Melee fighting feels pretty great as well, though the enemies do have slightly repetitive animations and choreograph their attacks a bit. This isn't an easy game, and you will probably have areas where you will struggle and will have to respawn a few times, especially when playing solo. And there is a decent variety of mobs of enemies to cut your way through, which can mob up and even ambush you. Despite having played through this game multiple times, I still died a few times, even on the normal difficulty in my playthrough where I recorded this footage. There are 3 levels, and the levels have a sprinkling of puzzles, hidden or missable areas, mini-bosses, level bosses, and all in all, Karnage Chronicles does a good job of keeping you on your toes. Each area has its own feel and style to it, and has its own unique enemy types. There is one harpy-style creature model that has exposed breasts, so it might not be an appropriate title for children. The campaign is probably around 6 or 7 hours long, but you might find yourself having to backtrack to find puzzle solutions or see what is on the path that you didn't take, which could potentially add an additional hour or 2. Karnage Chronicles supports up to 4-player co-op. Players look kind of silly because they're basically invisible except for their gear, but you are a wraith after all, so I guess it makes sense that you're invisible. And it seems like the game did scale up the difficulty for multiplayer the few times I tried it. But you can only play multiplayer by inviting people directly to your game, and there's no matchmaking lobby or anything like that. The character progression in Karnage Chronicles is only done through gear, which will enhance your stats as you find better and better loot. Since you can reset the game, it is possible to become very overpowered by using end-game content on the early levels. Also, there is an account-based storeroom where you can retrieve stored gear from your other saves, so even starting a new game will allow you to benefit from prior playthroughs, but I personally find it way more fun to start fresh every run. There is even an item you can purchase from the in-game vendor using the in-game money that will reset any of the 3 chosen levels, which acts as a sort of variant to the typical New Game Plus mode. However, if you don't do this, then enemies will not respawn, so you can go through and find any missed areas or solve any puzzles you may have passed up. This game is only available on Steam VR. I did try to contact the developers a couple years ago, before I even had my YouTube channel, to inquire about them porting this to other current platforms, but they are working on a flat game right now called Under a Rock, which looks pretty good to be honest, and they don't seem to be too focused on anything Karnage Chronicles related at the moment. I think this game would look beautiful on PSVR 2 though, and would probably run pretty well on Quest 3, so I feel like it's a bit unfortunate that they don't see the potential in this game that I see. If you have played this game, let me know if you think I'm crazy for wanting to see this game on new platforms in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and game on.